So, so we're ripping people for transgendering. We're trying to figure a little bit of this out here ourselves. We're trying to figure out. There used to be, like I said, a tolerant type of thing going on for people, and now we have a forced issue. I'm a little bit more concerned with women and the fact that they have a problem with men, just like women, going into their bathrooms. So, from what I understand, I'm not, let's say, as worried about, let's say, a woman coming into um, my bathroom. We're gonna look at this. Now, this is a forced issue. So now it's no longer something that you can't really avoid. Now it's put out there. So now it's a direct issue, and now we have to address it. So is this going to be more costly on society? How much is this going to cost America to try to put extra third bathroom or something like that out here now for people who obviously for some reason have a problem with their sex, with what they were given at birth. Um, I'm trying to um, ask a question. Ask a question to people that have this issue here, this transgender issue. Um, where exactly did you start having a problem with who you are and your sex? Was it somebody else, or do you really have a problem with who you are? So you're trying to escape who you are in a sense. In some people's case, like um, Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner now, I think that they maybe, I don't know, it looks like they got way more attention by doing that. So I don't know if they're um, trying to feed off of other people, or what exactly they're trying to do, or if he really truly had a problem with being a man. So um, I don't understand because I'm quite comfortable with who I am, and I believe that if whoever you are, you're born a certain way. I believe that God made you that way, and that if your life takes a turn down the road, at some point, that it might not necessarily be you telling yourself that you have a problem with you, but it's somehow, um, made to feel that way somehow. Maybe society has that sort of effect, or other people, maybe your friends. I don't know. Maybe it's just a progressive thought, possibly. So I'm trying to figure out here if possibly transgender people, some by doing this, maybe have a mental health issue. Is there a mental health concern that needs to be addressed with people doing that? And then truly, um, they're gonna try to pretend like some of them are a sicko. So all of us to an extent are human. We all do our humanly things, so we don't want to necessarily be um, ridiculing ourselves or another person or something, that because we're all human. We all have had our uh, encounters or our flings or whatever. So whether you're gay or straight, you're still, it's a thing that basically I'm just trying to not necessarily um, you know uh, give somebody else a hard time over. I'm really trying to understand a couple of things. So um, I believe that it's a state rights issue, but I'm compelled to fight a little bit against them trying to say transgender equals some kind of equality thing, and they need to be, um, treated equally, and they have this forced opinion on people, and you have men going into women's bathrooms and stuff like that. I think that once the guy has made has gone as far as Catelyn did now, in my opinion, there's nothing you can do about them going into a women's bathroom. In my opinion, so the the person has already gone that far to say that they have a problem with themselves like that much, where they want to change and be something else as their their gender, to go that far to have their self mutilated in order to get there. I think that I was gonna say a little ballsy, but they're they've gone that far, so I can't really defend somebody had already gone that far. But if um, somebody still has a penis and they put on a dress and they go into a bathroom, um, I'm against that. Against them being allowed to go into a woman's bathroom and to be identified as a woman. Obviously, they're not a woman, and that would be not me trying to force them to go all the way and change themselves from a man to a woman just so they can go to the women's bathroom. I'm saying that I don't. That's the way I look at it. Um, Maybe society is more guilty of trying to talk people into being something different or whatnot. So maybe they'll try to say it to people like me, like it's my fault or something like that, you know. Um, and again, you know, we're at a state with all of this stuff. I have to keep people in mind that the reason why I fight a lot of these different things is because we are alienated now, the other the opposition or whatever, and we don't even have a right anymore. I mean, we don't have a right to think for ourselves or have an opinion. You know, you must be like a full communist swine. You must, you know, listen to the status quo, what they have to say, and if it has something not necessarily be so healthy for society, and it's something that causes controversy or something that's going to make society weaker, or let's say more vulnerable somehow. Um, all those, I believe, also are being lied. We're being lied to, and our history is being kind of distorted in a way where they tell certain parts of it, but they don't. They're not expressing that this gay, fascist, transgender types of issues that went on in society after society after society, and again, it's just my opinion or what I think, that they did not. These people that are so selfish with their own issue like this, and they're such small amount, they're going to cost society so much money, and they're going to take it to, the like the third bathroom, or or a new law that says this or dictates to that. So I believe, in my opinion, that they were all different things, things that we're talking about, because I believe they were in part with other things, espionage and whatever else. The enemy would try to do to your society. I believe that that's also why I appreciate him being more let's see, quiet about this type of stuff and not be allowed to, just come out like, oh, and now everybody's must be thinking it's normal for some guy to be dressed in his sister's clothes to go out in public, go into the bathroom, scare a bunch of women, scare the hell out of a bunch of women. You've got 10 to 20 women that freak out, and only like two in there are like, what are you all thinking about? There's only like two out of 20 females out there that even are cool with some dude identifying himself as one of them and going in there and doing that. So, and it does sound like a gateway to allowing not perversion, because in my opinion, I believe that everybody's pretty much guilty of perversion. It just depends on like where your level is at. If you go too far, if you break the law, or if you keep yourself, within the confines of the law. And you like, if you're a man, you're like every other man. We like checking women out. So um, you have to be able to um, not be too much of a sicko and control yourself. So that doesn't look like you're not trying to be a sicko and that you're not trying to control yourself. So in public. So as far as children go, things like that, I think that um, they're a number one priority as far as society goes. Maybe not me, you know. Maybe my number one issue might be my animals or something personal to me. But I think as far as society goes, some of their number one priorities should be kids and welfare of people, and then not trying to pivot every single body, on all these issues where I don't even know why people are not fed up to the point where they're just overwhelmingly so disappointed that the sentiment isn't running over. I mean, big time. At Obama, the Democrats, Hillary, any Democrat out there that wants to be president or in government, I just don't understand how um, people aren't saying like enough is enough with these um, things that you're just obviously trying to um, pivot people on and trying to on purpose cause issues or with certain issues that are touchy like that. And so then you want to, you don't even want to address them. You want to just force them and push them through on society. So I am for states' rights, but I'm more leaning towards, um, somebody. If North Carolina was worried about having to pass a law, maybe we need to let them pass it. It's within time, see, how well it works or whatever. But it sounds like to me like a lot of the laws that are being made, they say like rules. I was thinking about this. Rules were meant to be broken. So if there was more of a common sense type of thing that everybody was on, and it wasn't just like a rule or anything like that, isn't that kind of how it was before? Where you just rule was, you're not supposed to go to your opposite sex bathroom. You can if a man's bathroom is broken, and then there's no other place that you can go except the women's bathroom to relieve yourself. Um, then I'll argue with a girl, with a woman, and say, I'm not a sicko. And obviously, anybody in that situation they would obviously know too that um, the men's bathroom is broke down or whatever. And really, technically, there's bathrooms all around, so it'd probably be the better idea to sure that there wasn't another bathroom first before you'd actually have to go and do that. So it's more of a common like law, like sense. It's not really like a law. It's just common sense. Everybody knows better than to go into the wrong bathroom. If you go in there, it's typically supposed to be an accident, not even on purpose. So um, they're doing things with society um, on purpose to like break the levee or something, because they want every leftist thing in the world to go down, and if you have a problem with it, I mean, these guys are talking about how the world's gonna be um, without straight people or without people that have a problem with them doing that. And I mean, they're insane and vile about this. This is another issue, not just with like black hate, like different people thinking that it's time for a black society to be or whatever. They have other people, all these other people rising up since the Democrats have been in there. You get another Democrat in there, Hillary. It'll just be 4 more years of wasting our money and time, helping our enemy out, shitting on our allies, raising these issues in society um, that are helping people that um, try to act like they're representing a minority type of status, like gays or transgender or whatever, and now because Obama's in there, they have a right to be vile to you. I mean, because they have the authority and the complete law to use against you in your opinion. So, um, personally, I think that I hate those guys. And you try not to hate other people because, we all know that what kinds of can of wickedness or evil that can open up if you have like inside, hate towards somebody, and maybe there's differences between hate. Some might be like hate, like they want to murder this guy, hate, or there might just be strict hate. I'd never let that fucker in my house, hate. You know what I mean? I'd never let that motherfucker in my gate, spit on his fucking bumper, fucking call cops and have them escort him out of here, whatever, different levels. So I'm saying one of those levels, but surely not the most extreme. But I do hate Obama and the Democrats. I wish that they were all um, basically all taken into custody and put in jail and then prosecuted and basically given at least 30 years. Because you're talking about him, things that he's done, um, wasting 11 to 12 trillion dollars after Bush left there with only 4 trillion added to the deficit. Obama adds like 3 or 4 times that. I mean, there's no telling exactly how much, but we all know that it's at least 3 times of what Bush did in 8 years or what Obama did in 8 years. Damage to the economy, and he got away with doing it, with lying to everybody, and like today, when Obama starts his day, he'll start in on the American people with some leftist screwball, shot at America every single day. You can expect, something different out of the Obama administration like this, and other things that are just ridiculous. And I don't understand how people's identity needs to be addressed this way. But if you can convince me now that a state were to pass a law that was the opposite of what North Carolina just passed, then I would say, with kind of really strong and staunch kind of like hesitation, I'd be like wondering, I'd be really paying more attention to that. And I would probably guarantee I'd probably know more details on that one there than I would on the other one, which I don't know who you think that you're harming by them saying that these people cannot go in and surprise the hell out of women and piss them off. So first thing is women seem shocked, then they get pissed, then they're upset. So are you cruel? Are you trying to do that to people on purpose? I mean, I have no idea, but I also believe that um, not all people are this way. So they're decent people, I'm sure, that are gay. I know for a fact that there are some, but I'm not gonna say I know that they're gay or anything like that because I don't. I'm not saying. I'm just letting it go at that. I'm just saying that what you have is um, particular um, people in that situation, um, and they don't seem um, to be the most pleasant of people. So anyway, let's move on here. So this is basically the gist of this. We heard on here that basically what it is. I'll show you. I finally decided I was gonna go ahead and come up here and I was gonna say something because Franklin Graham was in paper. He rips Trump, and Trump said it was more of a states issue. I guess at the end, that's what he said. So I was like teetering. I was almost ready to come on here and talk talk some smack to Trump. On one of his supporters or somebody who was really kind of looking at him really closely for who I would prefer to win the election or become the next president. So, and kind of my opinion is maybe a bit different than his. All I can say is once a person has their penis removed, there is nothing that you can really do or say about them stopping them from going into a bathroom. How can you even know? You know, can you really tell that Caitlyn, unless you knew him, whatever, that that actually happened? I mean, there might be a little bit if you're in the same, you were standing there talking to her or whatever, you might be able to figure it out. Um, but I'm actually um, more towards supporting North Carolina than I am not supporting them. But all I can say is that once you know, once you start in with us with these issues like this, people like myself and Franklin Graham are basically treated like we don't we don't have a right to breathe or something, like we don't have a right to our own opinion on this. And he's right. It has a bit of extreme perversion written all over it. So, I mean, think about it. A guy puts on a dress, not just puts on a dress, but then goes into a female's locker room or bathroom. So, Trump might be right. Also on this, that the law might be a bit excessive because as a society, there should just be things, as a whole that we all see as taboo, and that even if they wanted it, they should um, understand that the rest of everybody else, the majority, is not going to be pushed around anymore. Because that's what we've been having here, is having the majority of people be pushed around. And finally, we have a state who's is standing up for people's opinion. What I believe is, when I say people's opinion, I don't mean the people by the people. I mean the majority of people here, what they think and what they want. So I don't mean for the people, by the people, or anything like that. I just mean, what does the majority say? You know, because I mean that's where the toleration comes from, and that's where um, all of the taboos and everything else is set like law, you know. So, it goes on and on about, so like I said, I almost had or I did, they started to make me develop a bad opinion on Trump by him writing this and saying Franklin Graham, Reverend Graham has, um, slammed Trump on his opposition of the law. And so I think what Trump was mainly saying was he was mainly saying that it's a state's issue or state's right, um, but that the law that they passed is gonna it's gonna be costly to them. So um, we'll have to see play it by ear a bit and see how it goes. But I'm um kind of a little bit opposite on what Trump was also saying with his business or his Trump Towers or whatever. He said if Caitlyn came there, he'd let him go into whatever bathroom he wanted to go in. But me, if I had the same setup for a place like that, and they came over to my business or mall or whatever, I would be the opposite of that. I would not want things to be confusing and people to be freaked out. So I'm not even looking at myself, like I said. I'm kind of a little bit looking out for um, women, I think a bit. I think that we've all been put into a very awkward situation where they're like gonna say like you're not human or you're not. How can you be so you know have no compassion or whatever. And it's really truly what it is how can you be like that and have no compassion for people who don't want to be exposed to that? So we must all be exposed to some sicko or some perverted, some over the top perversion. Um, now, instead of the other way around. So I don't know. It's really, really kind of ridiculous, and I just have to say that I am The last thing I'll say here is I'm for states' rights. Yes, I am. But I'll say that I think I already said this, but I'll say it again. I'll state my position on this. I support the North Carolina bathroom law. But if there were a state that put in the works the opposite, I would be against it. And I am one that is strict constitutionalist. I look out for the Constitution and states' rights. So I still believe that even though it's 2016, that each state has an individual right to make up their own laws and rules like these, and that pertains a lot to the people that live in those different particular places. So we get back to what I was saying, and you won't catch me break on this one. Is what the majority of the people think. And so, as far as these guys go with cramming stuff, now you have somebody there, like Obama. Again, we'll explain a little bit more what he's doing. So you have somebody who is like the Supreme Court when the Supreme Court forced gay marriage on California after they voted against it. They went over the people and what the majority of those people said and what they wanted. And then because the progressive people like Obama and Hillary Clinton's and Jerry Browns and all these other maggots were not satisfied with their own people, they had to use the Supreme Court against them. So now you have a guy who is your president now. So it's like a governor, like Brown or whatever. Now there you have somebody as your president who is just like their circus court out there in San Francisco. So was it the ninth district court? Is that right? So the Supreme Court that resides out of San Francisco, California, is so leftist and so far out there that that's what they did. They went over the people's opinion or what they wanted collectively as a vote. And then you see other states that voted it in and voted for gay marriage. So I supported, well, to a point, I backed off and I wasn't going to contest the vote. But now we've come to an issue, though, with this transgender bathroom thing in public and putting people in danger of being sexually assaulted or other things could arise from this. So we're not looking towards more helpful things to prevent people and keep people safe and prevent people from being harmed. Um, so that's why I am against any state if they were to have, and the people there, enough people in that state were really, are you serious? They were like that perverted, or they were, I don't know what they would be thinking to pass a law that says that um you must now uh do this and have allow men with dresses and beards to go and use women's bathrooms and weird stuff like that. So that's what I'm saying is if there was a state or a place that were to do that, I would be against it. Even though really I'm not against the gay marriage in the states. I'm against Obama coming and enforcing every single state now to have gay marriage instead of allowing people to make up their own minds. Because now that's where you go. You have now it's done deal. You know, you guys have no opinion. You have no right to, you know, undo this or fix this or even talk about repealing all of this junk that they have passed and done um, with the liberal president, liberal progressive president. Um, so that's what I see happen. Instead of going and what you did was you elected a guy that now is going to tell you how it is, and he's going to write the law for the way it's going to be, instead of even taking a poll to see if that's what the majority of the people want, because they had to lie, and they did lie in order to get somebody that progressive and that leftist in there that is actually that anti majority. He is that much for minority for some reason. Maybe that's how they pull off some of their distractions and believe that they're going to um, divide and conquer us. They're dividing and conquering society with them in the military and everything else, dude. Um, doing the opposite. And they got people out here still trying to argue with me that Obama and George Bush are the same guy. You know, so George Bush, I tell you, George Bush would not ever in a million. It's more liberal progressive bullshit of them shitting on George Bush by them letting that asshole pull us out of Iraq like that. So he pulls us out of different places, and then real warmongers replace dictators, and then dictators and people also trying to tell me on the Twitter that uh, um, basically like these dictators like Gaddafi and these other dictators killed terrorists, you know, like Saddam killed terrorists. That's not true. The people who go look it up. The people in the I made a video on it and I showed it and I have a video. If you don't want to go do the research yourself, you can look through my video archives and you can see that I had made a video of it. And I think that they pissed me off by taking the ad, making it so that I couldn't even put an ad thing on there. And I was only telling the truth. And I was showing them from Wikipedia and everything, the absolute fucking truth. And these guys penalized me because I'm talking about some bullshit that people need to hear about that's just not true. The first World Trade Towers attack in '93, Bill Clinton was only president for a month, not even a month, right? It happened in February, and right after his inauguration, and the one terrorist that they said that got away, that wasn't ever caught by our justice system, fled to Iraq. So, how, if these guys are fleeing to Iraq, how is Saddam Hussein killing terrorists off? He's not. They were part of his regime, his scheme. I don't even know they even got the real Saddam. Maybe they got the wrong Saddam. They got the wrong Saddam, hung him, and the real Saddam fled somewhere. It's just really kind of weird how he was in a hole like that. But his a lot of his command is now running the new fascist uh, group, ISIS. So that was all from Saddam's regime. So you want to act like he was like maybe non-religious too, or like he didn't have a caliphate or religious type of warmongering intention. Saddam Hussein over there. I'll have to say, think again. So But yeah, we're getting off on the tangent. It's only because of the things that the liberals are trying to do to this place. So, how many transgender people are in society, even? And how many gay people are in society? So now it's cool for them. And I was telling these people that there's going to be a spot picked up for you, in particular for you in hell, from you guys telling small children about all of this stuff. So not letting them discover it when they become an adult or whenever they have more ability to make more sense of things. They're a little bit more intelligent. Too, but we're going to stop a child dead cold in their tracks, and we're going to tell them about all these different adult issues that are going on, and we're going to make them now. It's children must know about this stuff, about the two different daddies and the two different mommies. If they've been in a situation like that, obviously our society's got to the point where there's nothing that we can do as a society to stop that or to keep them from um, peer pressure. So that's like an adult. It's supposed to be an adult about them, trying to persuade young people and adolescents to develop a different adult thoughts that is on an adult level. So um, it's just one push after another, and if you have that, here's another consequence to all that. So people might get killed, might get more killed. Instead of maybe what they were saying before that, oh, this is gonna keep people from being killed. We could wind up getting more people killed, but as a whole, as a society, could get us all killed eventually, and our society will. We just have to take. I mean, there's nothing that they can do about it if society quits making healthy families with children that can go serve in the military and can go, um, fight in the Marines or the Army or the Navy or the Air Force. So, or do whatever your public duty is. Do public duty and service and whatnot. But it all stops right there if you're all gay. So that's another reason why I am against gay. Not altogether. I don't want to be that much of a prick to him, but I'm gonna say that I am against um, people being gay at a certain point because society will stop there, and it won't grow. People won't have children. They won't have. I guess you can inseminate people, but then you're going through a whole different process, and society changes so dramatically. So I have to take a stand against um, them forcing an opinion on you or trying to tell little children about different things like this because I don't want them to be taken out of their natural um, way that they would have been processed naturally on their own as a human being and not being coerced or talked to about all these different things because it's going to what is it going to do? It's going to kill society, you know. And then here we are, we're not even allowed to even talk about it. So I think it's really ridiculous. So I'm really disappointed. I'm really anti-Democrats. I'm anti-Obama and the Democrat Party, Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders. They're all blowing smoke up everybody's ass. They're full of shit. Don't listen to them. Actually listen to them, but you know what I mean. Listen to them because it's really bullshit what they're all saying and what they've all done to the place up to this point. So there is it. People might want to try to say I'm pathetic all they want, but it's true. There's a reason for not coming out with all this different shit and not having a gay marriage with two different dads or two different moms or whatever. And it's all designed to go ahead and push this agenda, these ideas for for society to go ahead and fuck itself. When if that's where society is heading towards fucking itself and going off the cliff and being fucked like that, that's a good way to set the tone to keep America pushing towards our destruction or whatever. And obviously, if I'm cursing or swearing, and you know, it has obviously some things bearing on it that are non-religious, that just have to make some more fucking common fucking sense to people and be able to talk about these things, negatively or positively to get your fucking opinion out there or whatever you have to do. But I am totally, totally disgusted with this, and I am really sorry for women to have to deal with that more than anything. I feel more sorry for the women than anybody.